Check one, two, check one, two. What's going down, everybody? It's your boy DH in the building. It is actually not Friday, it's Saturday, y'all. And I'm really excited for today because it's a new era that we're starting. Starting my new shift this week, which was amazing. And I got a great guest from the A Street, one of my homies from back in the day in the building. That we're going to have a nice conversation. We got some great information for you guys today. And also, I got something special that I really wanted to add to the equation. I have a great friend that wanted to come on and kind of share a little bit about her movement that she started, the Shia movement. I don't know if you guys seen Zakia come on a couple weeks ago, when we had our conversation on Circle Talk. But I really wanted to have her come on and explain the Shia movement to you guys, and just give her all the credit for being a part, and thank her so much for jumping on this and being a part of the movement, Circle Talk, and everything that we're doing here in the circle. So without further ado, I'm gonna bring her on and share this good news for you guys. What's up, sister? You driving?
Can you see me? Because I can't see anything.
I think we all can see you, sister.
I don't even know how I look. I'm coming out of lunch. I had went to the gym. Lots going on. But, I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me again.
Yes. You know what? Real quick, before we get into the Shia movement, I just want to thank you so much for, jumping in my ear and saying, yo, D, I want to be a part of what you got going on. I appreciate the work that you're doing. And we need to connect. And so I'm really excited for what's to come with us moving forward. And so let's talk about you and the movement, the Shia movement. Let the people know what it's all about that didn't get the information when you were on Circle Talk.
Sure. So the Chaya movement is basically a sustainable fashion movement. We promote eco-friendly and sustainable fashion options. So that means things are recycled, good for the earth. We consider how it's made. And so we promote that in the fashion world. You see me posting things that are, events around like I'm having a clothing swap in November in Federal Way. So it's just giving people the idea and the understanding of how to be more conscious consumers, how to be more considerate of the earth when you're getting rid of clothing, and just being creative in that way and considerate of how we consume. In addition to that, I also sell clothing products that are either recycled, upcycled, or just eco-friendly. And so the ChayaMovement.com is where you can learn more about the Chaya movement and the different things we have going on, and also shop our merchandise and some of our partners' merchandise as well.
Absolutely. That's amazing. And I've been calling it Shia. It's Chaya, right? Chaya movement.
Yes, a hard ch. Yes.
Sure. Okay. I've been trying to make it all clean and pretty, like, you know what I'm saying? Chaya movement, y'all. Make sure you guys look it up, the ChayaMovement.com. We want to thank you so much for being a partnership to what the Circle Talk is doing. And let's do it. Let's make this thing happen, guys. Work together, continuing to support one another, all over the place.
It's all about community.
Absolutely.
All about community.
So thank you so much, sister. I appreciate you for jumping on. We will talk real soon. All right.
Okay.
Take care.
Bye.
All right. Let me figure my stuff out. Like, really, guys, I've done this plenty of times, but there's still little flubs on the way. But so now we have a different person. Different guest up on the screen for y'all. It's my guy, Mark Broussard from the A Street. Thank you so much, man, for taking time out of your day to sit down and have a conversation with me about life, the ups and downs, and really we're going to touch on National Bullying Month, which is a great thing to talk about because it's out there, it's live, it's today, and we want to try and work on trying to be better efficient when it comes to this situation, and how we can help others that are kind of going through this.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what's going on with you today, man? You just chilling?
Man, I'm always just chilling. You know, it's very rare that I get some type of downtime, but when I do, you know, I try to just kind of relax a little bit.
Hmm.
I guess reach out to people that have been reaching out to me, man.
Yeah,
And I always looking for work to do. Like I'm off work, but then I always kind of see what I can do to kind of stay working. But today
absolutely.
I'm just kind of relaxing. I do work tonight though, doing
Yeah.
security for a client. So
Awesome. Well, before we move any further, guys, I want to also make sure that I don't forget about our other sponsors, iShotya.com. If anybody needs any great pictures, obviously you can hit him up. He's a local guy here in Washington. So if you have a specific location you want him to come and take pictures at, he'll meet you there. He'll do your weddings, he'll do your anniversaries, he'll do your graduations, your senior portraits, whatever the case may be. Hit him up, iShotya.com. He'll make sure that happens for you. Also, Icon ENT, shout out to them for jumping on and being a part of the movement as well. As you guys know, next Saturday, I will be at the All Black event here in Tacoma. I'll be working with my guy, Junior Thomas, just helping out. They want me to be the mouth of the South, so I'm going to go down and do a bunch of interviewing and do some circle talking down there. So watch out for that next Saturday. The All Black Party is going down here. If anybody got any questions or comments or concerns or want to get tickets, you can hit me in my inbox, or you can hit up Junior Thomas in your inbox to get all that information. So thank you guys so much for being a part of this event and circle talk, what we got going on here. So let's jump into you, bro. Like, man, we go way, way, way back, man.
way back,
Way,
it's
way,
been a
way
long
back.
time. Yeah, yeah.
So let's talk about the upbringing, because I know the history a little
Man,
bit,
oh, 8th
but
Street.
the people may not know it, and so let's share a little bit about your upbringing, your family life, moms, dads, brothers, sisters, etc. etc. How was it coming up?
Well, and then people may,
Yeah,
some people that watch, it come from a big family. My mom has 11 kids.
yeah,
We were always like the spot to be at. My
yeah,
mom, everybody respect and love her, for just being like neighborhood mom, cook. Everybody could come over, chill, and just, kind of relax. But as well as I know, man, like where we grew up, it wasn't the best, but we we persevered through, man. We just made do with what we had, man, and it was just like this, man. Wow, looking back is just crazy. My mom was doing plays and stuff, and I like you and the group that you were singing with,
yeah,
Shamari, and all the older cats. You guys was
yeah, yeah,
doing your thing and just kind of mentoring, showing a different light, as
yeah.
well as being from the same neighborhood.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. The streets was crazy back then, and a lot of times I don't even know if you remember this time, but we was playing. I got to tell a quick story, and then we'll get back into A Street. But I was over at your house, and I was remember Jay.
Next door
Yep,
with the
Jay
two
was
pit
next
bulls.
door, and in between there was a basketball hoop. Remember you
Oh
guys put
yeah,
up that basketball hoop?
that's where everybody came.
Yep, I was there one day. It was me, Shamari, and Scott Angel. I don't know if you remember Scott, white boy, could shoot the J real good. But we was playing ball, just chilling out there shooting hoops, bro. And one day we was out there, and then a Crip pulled up on us,
Oh,
and he pulled out a gun, and he literally said, "Come here." And we seen him waving the gun, and they went running,
boys in
and
the
I
hood.
froze. I was like, let me go and talk to him before he starts shooting.
Yeah,
So I went and talked to the dude, right? And he was like, "Is your name Jason?" I was like, "Nah, my name's not Jason. That's my brother."
yeah,
And literally, the dude was like, "When I find your brother, you let him know I'm looking for him. When you talk to him, let him know I'm looking for him, because my brother wasn't from a different gang. He was from
yeah,
GDs, and there was Crips looking for him because he had done a drive-by up on the hilltop. And I thought for sure we was gonna get shot. I'm telling you,
yeah.
ask Shamari, you ask Scott, they'll tell you, man. This dude rolled up on us, got out the car, put his gun out, said, "Come here." I was like,
No, wait.
They dropped the
Deer in
ball
the
and
headlights.
started.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah, we had
crazy,
that
though.
little cut right there
Yeah,
between
you
the
had
house
the
and the
little
garage.
cut,
So they probably ran through that way, huh?
ran right through it. I froze. I was still like
Yeah.
a tree.
Yeah, I remember
But
the GDs. They stayed back by the I forget the Social Security office. I think I forget what it was, but
yeah,
I remember they used to come over there all the time as well, like showing you how to stack, showing you how
yeah,
to do all these things, and
yeah.
it's like, man, it was just crazy. But you learn a lot of things from just different people.
Right. And
Um,
that's the thing that people don't recognize. We talk about it, and everybody's like, oh, it couldn't have been that bad. But you got to
man,
think, like, where you stayed at, you guys had the GDs like surrounded all in your area. But then
yeah,
you go a couple blocks down the road, you got the Crips down there, and these two groups don't hang out. They're not
not at
friends.
all. No sir, no sir. The way
Hey,
on
and
the
then you
east side,
go,
they had the Bloods.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. It's like we got three different gangs that were feuding at all
yeah,
times. So really, like us living in a reality of not not feeling safe,
yeah,
but the idea of surviving together through all this madness that was going on because of a color of a flag,
yeah,
it was just crazy.
yeah.
And
It
it's
was.
such an amazing thing that we lost a lot of people. I
Oh yeah,
mean, when we think about back in the day, we lost so many friends and family, but we made it through. We made it through.
yeah.
Because there was plenty of times where people thought I was my brother because we're a year apart or whatnot,
Oh
and
yeah.
and people always thought, yo, he looked just like Jason.
You
Let's
look
get him.
exactly alike.
And I was like, nah, bro, that's not me.
It's not me though.
I'm the singer. La 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 la
I'm
la.
gonna
I
sing my
start
way out
singing
there.
and they leave me alone.
Yeah, he had to pull that Temptations, huh?
Yeah,
Put him
exactly.
on the car and made him sing.
you know but man, how often when we think about when I think back to that days when we used to hang out, on mom's was such an amazing person. She was always so positive, even through all the ups and downs, and the trials and tribulations, and the kids that didn't listen and the kids that
Man,
did.
man,
you,
mom.
you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I know what you
But
mean, man.
man, how important was mom's being so strong for the family when you was
I
coming
mean,
up?
growing up young, you think about it, you're like, why are you so hard on us? Like, we're not doing
Yeah,
anything. We're just out here. Everybody knows us. They know who you are. We're not looking at the protection part as why
right.
she's being so stern and structured behind it. It's like, you
Absolutely.
know, you guys are young men, young black men growing up in urban, small, really, almost really small.
Yeah,
And of course, everybody gravitates towards it, and I know my mom can, parents can actually see the things that happen like that, that are going to happen. They can see which way you're going, things like that. So, these whoopings and things like that, they were
yeah.
they were just cause, you know what I mean? I
I've
mean,
seen
like
a couple of
we were deserving of we were deserving of that.
them.
Mom,
Yeah,
your mom was stern on everybody. Friends was like, can
yeah,
they
she
come out?
was.
Can they come outside? She's like, they got to clean up. You can come help clean up though, and have them come clean up as well. So we all in there
Absolutely.
cleaning up, things like that, feeding everybody. I think having a parent like that is very, very important, and she knew the importance of it. My
Yeah,
mom always, if you ask her, when she says how many kids she has, she just said, I kept all mine.
yeah,
No matter if father or their dad wanted to stay or not, it didn't matter to her. She knew what she
right.
had to do, so she did whatever she needed, what she had to do to make sure that we were okay. We had Christmases, we didn't go without anything, um, nothing missed us, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
and it's not like we attracted negativity, it's just what we grew up in, so her
Absolutely.
being the way she was just protecting of, her cubs. Um,
Absolutely. Absolutely. So when mom's was really busy, because if I don't say this, I think your sister's probably going to be mad at me. But when mom was really busy and she was, either she was working or not around, how important was that sister
oh
for being
man,
the mom figure, stepping in, taking that mom figure? Because I know
Nene,
she was heavy.
Nene held it down, man. She held it down a lot of the time. She got a small little voice, but she held it down. Like,
Yeah.
she made sure, we was on point. She kept everybody in line because, my older sister, you guys are the same. You guys are the same age,
Yeah.
so she knew. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So she knew us. We want to be around everything, be up in front of everything. She made sure, we was eating and things like that. not saying taking credit from my mom, because she was there doing for me to do. It was just
Absolutely.
when mom got to work, single mom doing her thing, somebody has to step up. It was just, big sis, she did her thing, making sure everybody was okay. My auntie Abiba,
Hey.
my big cousin Jamise,
Yeah. Oh yeah,
drop a name.
I know all your fam, bro. We went to school together.
So, yeah, they stepped in and just made it happen.
Yeah.
And it's just, I can appreciate that, looking back and where I am now. I mean, it creates substance in your life, and it helps with that foundation to keep you grounded. So when when we do have our own kids like we do now, we know how to survive. A lot of people just know how to do one thing, which is what they went to school for. Either got street smarts or you got book smarts. Luckily, we had both of those. You know what I mean?
One sec, my son just came in here. But let me ask you a question while he's standing here. So after A Street, and you got to a point where you decided what school you were going to go to, and you ended up at Foss, right? How was Foss when you got there?
Foss was different, and what's crazy? When I went to Foss, I was just kind of like, I don't know these cats. It's like a different gang for me.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like everybody I know goes to Stadium High School. I'm supposed to be there. They're like, no, you're going to Foss, buddy. So I went to Foss, and everything was kind of different there. I did run into some faces that I knew, that kind of helped, with that transition. But it was still kind of like, man, this was like foreign to me because I wasn't like Foss High School, like really way over here. And I'm used to being over there, by Wrights Park and stuff like that. And that whole area staying close to the hood and what's closer, what I know. So Foss was really, really different. I felt like the principal that was there had it out for me because he knew who my family was, but they didn't go there. So it was just kind of like trying to adapt and adjust was kind of different for me because I was there by myself for a while. Actually, one of my older brothers, Vincent, he came there. He was coming out of a group home going to Foss. So he came there after a year later, and then it was kind of like, y'all better go mess with my little brother.
Sorry, man. 1 second. I need for you to go out there real quick so I can finish, okay? It's not working.
Well, I wanted it to play.
It's not playing. See, it's broken. Okay.
You have to wait a second when something's coming.
It's not working, okay? See, it's not working. Okay, go out there, please. I'll be out in a little bit. This is live, y'all. This is live. I got my son today. So I got to do my daddy duties at the same time. So thank you guys so much for being patient. We're here with Mark Broussard. Thank you so much, man, for, making it happen for us today. So let's continue on after high school. What'd you end up getting into after high school?
What's crazy? I wanted to experience, it was in the summer of 11th grade. After 11th grade, people was talking about Job Corps. So guess what I did? I went to Job Corps.
Oh, what?
I went to Job Corps and actually didn't even finish the 12th grade because I went to Job Corps. And Job Corps was fun. You learn a trade. It was kind of like college life almost, being on your own. That's when I realized, I went with my buddy Josh Farkas and my boy at the time, Marcus Pratt, right?
Okay.
Not knowing, before we left, we found out we were cousins.
Oh, what?
Like, this was crazy. Yeah, blood cousins. Like, what? And ever since then, that's my ace right there, man. That's my guy.
Shout out to Marcus, man. I know Marcus for a long time too.
Yeah, and then his brother Sean Pratt went there.
Yeah,
they went to the same place. We went to Astoria, Oregon. It was Tongue Point. So Absolutely. We was out there. It was nice. So after that, just did that. You remember David Quinn's?
Of course.
Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I ended up marrying his daughter. We was married for like 14 years.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I
We
didn't
have
even
two
know that.
boys. We have two boys together.
Hmm.
Just life happened, you know. Just
Yeah.
after, you know, we separated after that. But they live here. You know, we all live here. Um, but yeah, there's things like that happen. Started getting involved in like doing fitness and stuff, but not really
Yeah.
like that. Just kind of like, you know how we do. You push ups. You feel like you done did something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chest still sunk in the middle because I'm still a little guy out there. You know, so
Yeah.
doing that, still thinking the walking tall and everything, but
Yeah.
um, just kind of doing that stuff like that. Got real close, going to church and stuff like that.
Cool.
Studying for myself to make sure my own mindset was in the right place to be able to receive these things, and kind of
Absolutely.
setting those, not forgetting where we come from, but just kind of, you know, you can't lean on that.
Right.
It's a um, stepping stone. It's a foundation to help you get to where you are or where you're going. You know, so
Absolutely.
not forgetting that, but just kind of coming into my own and things like that, preparing my life to have my boys prepared for their life.
Awesome. Awesome. So let's talk a little bit about. I mean, you've been really busy. I've been obviously, I've been paying attention to a lot of things that you've been doing. You're doing a little bit of modeling, a
Oh yeah,
little bit of doing the fitness thing real heavy, and also the thing that I really wanted to touch on, guys, is guns. Like for a lot of people, there's a lot of different feelings about guns as a whole, especially coming from the streets and where we're from. Um, but you've taken it to a whole nother level. When did you find a passion for doing gun control and actually working and becoming you're actually a manager of a
general
gun
manager.
place,
Yep.
right?
Yeah, the assistant general manager.
Assistant general manager of a gun shop.
Gun, yeah, it's a gun range, gun shop. So they sell gun accessories, ammunition, rifles, just, and you can actually shoot and practice there. They teach classes there, things like that. Um, Before doing that, it was actually a buddy of mine who I met out here.
Mm,
His name is JJ. I call him JJ, but his name is Jacob McClendon. You can
mm,
follow him on Facebook if you want. He's really good African American instructor, right? But he just always, I see him at, you know, different places, and he always have a gun. I'm like, man, I don't carry my gun like that, you know. And he just kind of introducing me to certain things as far as, you know, your rights and being able to carry a firearm. Because a lot of us that when you get locked up, you
mm,
get your Second Amendment rights taken away. That's your rights to bear arms.
mm,
So when those get taken away, that's one thing that I think the system tries to do, especially being, you know, African American or Latino or Latino descent, something like that. Somebody of color, they try to take away, strip you certain things so you're not on the same playing field as, you know, Caucasian or white people,
mm.
which is not, it's not fair because you can't judge somebody off of their skin color based off of your experience with somebody else. But
Absolutely.
it happens more than not. But I got into doing that, you know, with him training and shooting and things like that. And it was crazy because I'm a really good shot. Like seriously, off the draw, I'm really good. And it's just training. Muscle
Yeah.
memory gets you right on point every time. You
Hmm.
know, you do push-ups a certain way, you're going to keep doing them that way because your body's trained. But I remember I was training with JJ, man, and he had my target, and I'm like, okay, I can hit that. It's a big target, you know, it's big. It's like the silhouette of the body. And he's
Hmm.
like, no. He brought the target in. He took a piece of tape about like that long. I'm like, what you doing with that? He put it on the target. Then he put another one over here. He put like four of them on there. Then he took the target out, and I'm like, bro, I can't see that. He was like, he was like,
He said, "Well,
he was
that's
like,
what you got to
no,
hit."
yeah. He was like, train like this, and I'm like, okay. So he was like, hit this one, shoot this one, switch to this one, switch to that one, and switch to this one. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, I'm trying to shoot, and he was like, all right, bring it back. He was like, your hand position is all wrong. I'm like, all right, bro. I'm getting frustrated. Like, he not, you know. He's like, no, just take the shot. I'm like, okay. Boom, boom, boom. I'm looking at him like, this is whack. I'm not doing that. If I just shoot, I'm gonna shoot something. I'm gonna hit
Yeah.
something. He's like, yeah, that's the thing. You're gonna hit something, not what you're trying to hit. So it went from the
Good
proper
point.
handling of the firearm, the unknowing, to knowing how to do it properly, handle a firearm. Because of course, you know, we've shot guns, people have shot guns, been around people who shoot guns, but it's like everything gets shot up except for what's needed to be hit.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's
Absolutely.
like training that way. He's like, the thing about that, the concept of that was you aim small to hit small. So if you train to hit small, when you do bring your firearm out faster, instead of it being like a big, it's called grouping. How many shots you get together, instead of it being like a big group, it's going to be like this, which is going to be consistent. You know what I mean? So if you can hit like this consistent at like 12 yards, 7 yards, really, because 5 yards is the distance in which you might get in a shootout. Any further than that, you have innocent bystanders, people getting shot that don't need to be, things like that. And these are things that, you learn along the way with training with firearms. So
interesting. Yeah, we've already had a little conversation about, how I try to steer clear. I don't know. And for me, it's obviously, it comes with the history in the past and things that I've been through. Even as a child hanging out on the hill, when somebody puts a gun up to your head and says, yo, you get out of line, I'm gonna shoot you dead. It makes you really think about life and
absolutely,
the choices that you want to make with your life. And for me, I was like, I didn't like it. Obviously, I didn't like the idea of somebody having this fat gun like this right on my temple, telling me that if you move the wrong way, I'm gonna shoot you, and you're gonna be done. And it wasn't because of me, because I was always the pretty boy that got A's in school, and
the singer,
the choir. I was always a good guy, but because me and my brother were so much alike, it happened more times than it should have. And so
mistaken identity.
It really made me really think about. It made me look at just that having a firearm a little bit differently. And so, but I'm not against it. I just, for my personal choice in life, I would rather it not be in my house, but I definitely understand the people that have it and their choices for having it.
I will say this, that a lot of people unknowing can deter you, and then life experiences can deter you. Before anybody gets a firearm, because I've had plenty of people come into the gun range and they're just like upset, I need a gun. Before you get a firearm, you need to understand that what you're getting yourself into and the liability and the responsibility of doing that. Like, if you don't know the firearm ins and outs without any ammunition in there, you shouldn't have it. You know what I mean? Somebody made a post which was funny, but it's kind of true. You should have to win 3 or 4 fights before you can get a gun.
Right.
Like hand fights. Like people just jump into getting firearms, man, and that's not what's up, man. Like, don't just get a gun. Like, what do you need a gun for? I've been told I had a bad attitude growing up, and I'm like, that humbles you. Or me, I took it as a humbling experience. Like, I can hurt somebody. Right. You can't get yourself into a heightened state of anger, and now you have this firearm, then you're gonna react with that firearm. You know what I mean? You can react like that. But if you don't have the sense of training and things like that, if you have young ones, you need to educate them on that, because kids are inquisitive. They want to look for things, and they go searching for it. Don't touch this. Oh, don't touch that, huh? Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to go look for that. That's not, so you have to train them. Like my 2 boys, they know how to shoot. They know how to shoot. They know how to handle a firearm. They know how to take the magazine out. They know how to load one, unload the firearm. But I was teaching them this for like 2.5 years straight. No shooting firearms. Yeah. But it was, if I'm going to have a firearm, like you said, it's life. It's what you choose,
Yeah.
And you'll hear people say it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it, And God forbid you have to get into a situation, or a situation presents itself where you have to go to a firearm. In all cases, if you need to protect yourself and the little ones, and that's what you have to match force on force, then that's what you go to.
Yeah.
See, a lot of people don't know force on force, but that's another aspect of that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, when did you really? Because we know, I mean, I know me and I know you and your family. You guys have been a pretty physically fit family. Obviously Enos.
We are.
Always swelled up, always looking good. and it just drops down the line, like we was talking about earlier, watching your brother James do 1,000 push-ups
Man,
online
this
every other day, doing 1,000 push-ups. It's like you
bro.
guys always had a leave his head alone, man. We ain't talking about your hair, James. I know you probably watching. We ain't gonna go there. We talking about being physically fit. You guys have always had a pretty physically fit family for the most part. When did you really start focusing more on like health and fitness and helping people get to a better place as far as their life goes with their bodies and their health?
Well, it's like with everything, you see something that, or you see somebody like, man, that's an attractive person, not on no other level than what it is. Like, dang, I want to look like that. You see LL Cool J, you're like, man, I'm light skinned, I might as well have muscles too. He got muscles, and you got the Shamar Moores and things like that. So that's where it started from, just trying to be, I guess, a sexy person out here.
Yeah.
So start doing a little bit more push-ups to get,
Yeah.
Your heartbeat going up and everything. But it's down here, like I'm in Texas, Dallas, but actually going to the gym, working out, and then the response from people like, man, you look good. What do you do? Start asking questions. You're like, man, I can really help people out. Give them, people want to see what I'm doing, and I'm looking at myself like I'm not even where I need to be. Of course, over the years, I've gotten to where I am now,
Right.
but just helping people, just seeing people that want to do better for themselves, and we're not getting older. You can't get time back. Gravity starts to set in. Your face starts sagging and stuff. Countless times people are like, "How old are you?" I'm like, "I'm 37. I'll be 38 in December." And they're like, "What?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, their response is kind of like, to me, it sounds like they're joking, like they're trying to be funny, like, no, yeah, you look young. No,
Yeah.
but they're like serious, like, man, are you serious? I'm like, yeah. So just being able to help people and show them or give them some type of insight as far as what I do or how I am, what got me to where I am, is just that feeling of helping people keeps pushing me. Like, people are in the gym and they're listening to rap, they're listening to this. I'm actually listening to motivational stuff.
That's
like
cool.
David Goggins and different fitness motivational stuff. Like The Rock, he has like stuff that they're talking about, and it's just that's in my ear, and it's just pushing me. I do have a hashtag. It's a hashtag Project Fit City.
Yeah.
And like I put some videos out there, and I'm asking random people like, why are you doing it? Because I know why I'm doing it, and they're just telling you better themselves, to look better, to feel better. You look good, you feel good. You know what I mean? Things like that. So me, I'm like, it's you versus you. I actually got some hats made that a while ago, but it's you versus you. Ultimately, with that and in life, it's you versus yourself. What's going on in your mind and your atmosphere, your surroundings. Are you going to succumb to what's around you, or are you going to rise above and be different than what you come from? Like you and I, and other countless other people that I know. Shout out to big bro Peter Chase. Everybody knows him as Chaos.
Hey,
but
Chaos.
He's an advocate because he sees these things going on. He's like, man, we have to change. If we don't change our future, there will be no future. Hence, our future is the kids. If
Absolutely.
we don't train the future, we can't change the future. We have to be different. You got to reach people at where they're at, but at the same time, I'm reaching them through fitness, handgun knowledge. Letting people know, like, just because you have a felony does not keep you from getting a firearm. At that moment, it will stop you. But if you press forward as hard as you did, or whatever you do to get to where you need to be, if you keep pressing forward, you'll get that. You'll be able to get your rights back.
Absolutely. Shout out to Peter Chase too. That's a huge name in the streets of Tacoma. A lot of people.
Oh yeah,
because Peter came from that life,
man,
bro. Like,
yes,
you know what I'm
yes,
saying?
heavy.
When we think about people that have changed dramatically with their lives, Peter was one of those 23rd streets.
Hey, yes, sir.
He used to go heavy. He lost, he even lost one of his brothers to that
Yeah.
stuff. You know what I'm saying?
My little brother walked up on the car after it happened.
That's crazy.
And he was just, man, but yeah.
But he didn't turn his life around. He's out there mentoring and trying to tell people say no to doing this stuff. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? If you're gonna carry, at least do it the right way. Let's stop killing each other. Let's start using these things for the right reasons instead of just getting in altercations with people over something minute and just shooting people. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's stop the violence over here. Because you remember a couple years ago when there was so many people getting shot up on the hilltop,
Oh yeah.
and Tacoma ceasefire came into effect. It was Candace Wesley. Shout out to Candace
Yeah.
Wesley, Peter Chase, and a whole clique of people that used to run the streets back in the day. They all merged together to, ignite and try to fight against these young kids that
Yeah.
are getting these guns and using them for all the wrong reasons. You know what I'm saying? And so,
Um,
yeah,
not to cut you off, I just wanted to add to that. You have the ones that are doing that change, they try to help and give back. You have to also reach out to them because it's like a lot that they're taking on, right?
yeah,
And if you get to a point to where people aren't listening, you start getting frustrated as well. So you got to kind of
absolutely,
reach out to those powerful voices to
yeah,
see, and be an asset to them, like a listening ear, and kind of see where they're at. You know what I mean? You always have to. Everybody has to work together for these things to work. You know what I mean?
absolutely, absolutely, for sure. Um, there was something I was gonna say, but I forgot about it. When it came to no, it's all good. It had to do with that whole situation, with all that stuff that was happening. Oh, quick note, guys, just real quick. This is going back to the gun violence. I want to take a moment to just send some prayers out to some brothers from the hill that got shot today.
Man,
Gun violence is still out there, and we got to start igniting together. We got to start talking to these kids and saying, hey, you guys need to handle these problems that you guys have together with your voice.
yeah.
And if you can't do it with your voice, put on some gloves.
Do something.
Figure
Go to
out a
Al
way to
Davies.
get
Go
it out.
box.
I mean, that's what we used to do back in the
Yeah.
day when
Yeah.
we one of the things that my dad taught me, and I really have to say this because it continues to happen over and over again, and until we get it through our thick skulls and realize that we're smarter than these guns. We need to be in control of them and not let them control us. People
Yeah.
think that we could, because they have a firearm, that
They're
they're
big
high
and
and
bad.
mighty and they're
Yeah.
able to change the world, but that's not the case. Only world that you're going to change at the end of the day is yours.
Is your own.
You
Exactly.
know what I'm saying? It's like
No.
you said, it's you versus you. If you
Yeah.
decide you want to go out and shoot somebody just cause,
Yeah.
remember the consequences when they finally catch up with you. Either
You have
somebody's going
time
to
in.
do it to you, or you're going to go to jail and spend a long time in jail because of it.
Yeah.
So we got to start being smarter out here. All of these people, that these young cats that continue to come up thinking that's the cool thing, it is not the cool thing, y'all.
Yeah.
Wait until you're able to do it the right way, and stop killing each other over stupid stuff.
It's a big ego thing, man. It's like ego, and then people try to blame it on, oh, the way I grew up, there's nothing. No, you have a choice to choose
Absolutely.
the life that you're in or choose a better life that you want. If whatever
Absolutely.
you want, go get it. Come on, man. I'm just saying it like this. You wanted money. What'd you do? You got out on the corner and started slanging. You wanted that, right? You want
Yeah.
a way out. Go with the positive mindset and go do it. You know what I mean? You got to start thinking positive.
Yeah.
Cognitive behavioral therapy will
Oh
show
yeah.
you that you got to think cognitive. Cognitive is thinking the positive versus the negative. You think more positive, which is hard to do, I'm not going to lie, then you will have better outcome. Because just think of it like this. How many times have you called, or anybody called somebody and you're like, I know they got their phone, or they're doing this or doing that. You're not answering your phone. And you always think the negative instead of thinking their phone could be dead. They could be engaged in a conversation with just a stranger or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Quit thinking the negative. Everybody has to work on themselves. We
Mhm.
keep trying to work on everything else.
Yeah.
Quit
Absolutely.
picking up firearms because somebody told a joke that everybody laughed at that you didn't really,
Yeah.
you're like, okay, all right, I'm gonna get you when you're by yourself.
Mhm.
It's a joke. If you didn't know how to tell jokes, if you didn't want to get out there and do all, Stop joking with people. You know, if that's not
Absolutely.
your crowd, stop being out there. If that's not your life, stop being out there. I was not really out there like that. I was always around, you know, but people respected me for being me,
Yeah.
you know, and I'm like, I don't have to do nothing anybody's telling me to do. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is at the end of the day, this is the best way to handle any conversation, any situation that you don't necessarily agree with, is to talk it over. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? You guys may not ever come to an agreement. Agree to disagree, and then go your separate ways.
absolutely.
You know, JJ just said something, and I want to comment on that. JJ McClinton said, "With gun violence, no one wins, only survivors." No, what you said, with gun violence, no one wins, period. That's what it is. Because at the end of the day, even the survivors suffer.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I'm
absolutely.
saying? Because you're hearing about families, friends of those people that got shot.
The
They're
person
going to
who
be
actually
expecting.
did it is the person who actually did it and just did it in that moment. They're probably thinking now like I took somebody's life
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something.
They're going to
You
be
know what I
affected
mean?
for life.
So
Absolutely.
that's two different there's different ways to think about that. You know, nobody wins.
There's no winners.
There's
There's no
no
winners.
winners.
I mean, at
There
the
are
end,
survivors, but they didn't win.
yeah,
You know,
because
now
they
they're
still got to
on.
live with the idea that either they shot somebody, or one of their loved ones was shot by someone. So
Yeah.
at the end of the day, everybody is affected in a wrong, in a negative way, unless unless it's you against somebody. That's a whole different scenario. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah,
But,
absolutely.
but we
Can I
talking
shout
about,
him out real quick? That's my
yeah,
boy JJ, who I was telling you about, man. I was teaching me the hardest way first before I've seen him train people before. You don't
yeah,
come at your boy like that. But he teaches here in Dallas, in Texas, licensed to carry classes, and he also does the combatives and stuff. The same things that I do, except for I don't get people licensed for their handgun. You know, to get the license. I do the training, and I can train you in the tactical, urban warfare, things like that. You know, so that's
absolutely.
my boy JJ. You guys can hit him up.
Hey JJ, drop your information in the comment box if you're still watching, brother. Appreciate the comment. Thank you so much for watching Circle Talk with your boy Mark. Uh, it's been a great conversation. One of the things that I really wanted us to touch on before we got offline is it's National Bully Prevention Month, and I really wanted to make sure that we at least commented on that and touched on that. At any point during your time coming up, whether you're in middle school, high school, outside of school, did you have to deal with any of this? Anyone trying to bully you or anyone in your family?
Me personally, I haven't experienced that. Um, Not like bullying, not really, because it was kind of like I think everybody knew who my family was and where I come from and how many people I knew. So I wasn't the one being bullied. Even when I was at Foss, I wasn't being bullied because people knew who I was. There was a big football player, and he follows me now. That's my boy, Eric Booth.
Okay.
Yeah,
Eric
he.
Bose.
I remember when I came. I was ninth grade. They came running down the hall, chasing all the freshmen, man. And I was on the locker light. He ran up on me. And you know what I remember on Baby Boy where he was like, "Suck it up." He was like, "You did like that."
You talking
That's
about
kind of
big?
how
You talking about big Eric? Eric?
Eric Booth, man. He's
Yeah. Shout out to Eric Booth. That's the homie right there.
man, man. Hey,
Yeah.
like, he didn't even know me then. He was just like
Yeah.
they're seniors, like you know what I mean. So they was
Yeah.
like, I'm like, okay. So he ran up on me, and I'm like, I can't back down. So he was in my face, and he's like, what? And I'm like, what's up? What's up? My voice is cracking, you know. What's up?
Yeah.
And he was like, he turned his head like that. He came back and he punched the locker, and I'm just like, man, this big dude right here. He started laughing and just ran off. But it was kind of like man. But I didn't experience any bullying. Actually, like I was used to sit at the end of the hallway at Falls. You can see down one way, and you can see straight people coming from in front of you. So I see people getting bullied, and I have my partners around me, and I'm like, man, no, hold on, wait a minute, what? I'm like, man, check this right here. So I was like the ringleader of ending bullying, like by putting my goons on these guys, you know, catching them in the bathrooms and stuff like that. Like, no, you
Yeah.
guys ain't gonna be bullying nobody, especially people who aren't doing anything. You're not getting any cred for bullying somebody who got glasses on, man, and going to class.
Yeah.
I'm like,
No.
you guys better cut that out, man.
Right.
You know, and it was just kind of like, nah. I did get bullied by my older brother James, man. You know, he wouldn't let me do nothing, man.
James bullied everybody though.
James was like,
Trying to
James
flex
was
on
like,
everybody.
I kept you from being as bad as us. And I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, all right. Okay. We did some things, man. And it was like, if I can't do it, y'all can't do it either. I'm
Yeah.
telling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
James is the homie, man. I love that dude, man.
Yeah,
But he
you need to
definitely
cut that,
was
you
a
need to
bully
cut
at
that hair
times.
off. You can say it. You can say it. Tell him to cut that hair off.
No, I'm not gonna do. I'm gonna steer clear of that, man, because yeah, he's bigger than me now.
James is he's a teddy bear when you know him, man. Everybody can be, man. You know that bullying is not what's up. You don't know what's going on in somebody's head. You could be bullying somebody who's getting verbally abused at home.
Yeah.
Not even physically, just verbally abused, and their mindset is just trapped in that. I'm not going to be anything. Those words that they're getting told, you're not going to be anything. I'm better than you. And then on top of you doing that, like really, I deal with a lot of law enforcement at the gun range, and I actually train, them before they go shoot for their shooting test and things like that.
Yeah.
On top of the bullying part that kind of coincides with that, it's like you don't know what they're dealing with at home, right? But being in a position like that of authoritative position, you have to be able to set aside really in that position because you're carrying a firearm. You are a person of authority who requires to be respected, right? And then some, you get a lot more times than not. We see it all the time. They abuse that, man. They're abusing, running up on people because they don't know we're different. We live on the hilltop, things like that.
Right.
But their reaction to how you come across, because you can get pulled over and be like, man, what did I do? And they're like, what? Get out of the car. They're trying to throw you on the ground. And you're like, what's going on? Like, really? I'm talking to you like a man, not knowing his reaction could be directly coming from dealing with something at home,
Yeah, absolutely.
something happened at home, and that's bullying right there. But they're bullying in an abusive power sense. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I have, like I said, I have my two boys. I talk to them all the time about bullying, and we don't do that bullying. We don't do any of that. If they do that, they got to talk. They're going to answer to me first, because I'm not bullying you. You're not being abused. So you're doing that based off of whoever you're around then, because we don't do that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
absolutely. A lot of and one of the things that I really try and stress too when it comes to the conversation about bullying as a whole, it's like you said, you don't necessarily know this. You don't know what's going on in this person's life. You don't know what's going on in either person's life, whether you're the person that's being bullied or the one that's the bullier. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that person that is the bully is getting bullied or disrespected at home by moms and dads, or treated unfairly by moms and dads, or someone in their family, or or even bullied by someone bigger than them in a different age limit or whatever the case may be. So we just don't know exactly what's going on in these people's lives, and sometimes it's really about conversation and trying to figure out, is there something wrong with you? Why are you doing this? Why are you treating me this way? Instead of fighting back, say, I'm not going to fight you. If there's something that you want to talk about, let's talk about it. I'm not the person. I'm not mad at you. I don't hate you. I just want to know why. Why are you feeling the way that you feel? What's making you want to put your hands on me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What have I ever done to hurt you? Because if I have done something, let's fix it. You know what I'm saying? Instead of continuing this cycle, let's try and break it.
It's a lot of disconnect. A lot of people grew up without fathers or mentors or guys that they look up to, and the people that they do look up to are ones in the street that's making the street life look better than being yourself. I tell people all the time, it's okay to be you, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't have to be anything other than what you are. When you try to be something other than what you are, you're hurting other people and you're hurting yourself, because you lose yourself in being fake. You're like an actor 365 days. You know what I mean? You can't never you can't turn it off, and it's just kind of like you need to have that. So it's crazy to people like if somebody comes to me and they're trying to do that, I'm like, bro, like this is not what we're doing, man. And you turn it around and they're looking like I was so amped up, ready to fight you, and it's kind of like I can't fight you now because it's like you're a good dude, and then I'm not realizing that I'm gonna get beat up
Exactly.
anyway,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, some
Yeah.
people, they
You're
don't
right.
realize they can't fight either. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like so they looking up at you and like, man, what happened? Like you were looking a little tired. That's
Yeah.
what happened.
Yeah.
But it's that bullying. I don't like it because you got look at the news now. You have kids coming to school with guns, and the only one have access to the gun because they know where it's at, and they have a lockbox or the code to the lockbox.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Um, if you get a hold of a firearm, that's negligence on the parent.
Absolutely.
It's not an accident. That's negligence. No matter
Absolutely.
how you see it, that's how the law puts it out there. That's negligence. Um, it's not an accidental discharge when the firearm goes off. It's negligent discharge. You know, um, and people that's just what it is. You get people that are being bullied. They're getting in fights and they're bringing guns to school and they're handling it that way. They're trying to go one up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not even one up. They're going to 100.
Yeah. It's really sad when you talk about that because that actually happened at my daughter's school a couple years ago. Somebody brought a firearm to the school. They had to evacuate the whole school because somebody wanted to come up there and shoot up the school. I'm
Yeah,
like, you're talking about elementary, middle school? I'm like, yo, like, what's going on with these kids? Why are they thinking that this is okay? Why not talk to somebody about their issues and hash it out with the hands? If you
yeah. You
can't
got to do. You
can't
got
do it
to
with
do.
the mouth, use your hands.
It
You
goes back
know?
to what's going on at home though,
Yeah,
because it's kind of like they're only acting off of what they see daily. You know what I mean?
yeah,
That's why you got to be cognizant of what you are doing around your kids. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
we're having an adult conversation, and you being a good dad, you're like, you need to go sit in there. Like, wait till I'm done. You can come in there, and your son understands. He's still young. He might pop back in a couple of times, like, hey,
yeah.
you done? But you're teaching them adult conversation, father son time,
Yep,
two different
absolutely,
things.
absolutely.
If you're not watching what you're doing, and you're just going doing whatever, then you're creating a cycle. You know what I mean? Of course
Yeah,
they have the choice in whether they want to do what you're doing or what they want to do. But
right.
sometimes being young, they don't have that mindset to be able to control what they want to do. And then they bring guns to school when they get in a fight. You know what I mean? They're watching certain things on TV, or they're watching TV all day, or watching playing video games all day. They could be reading a
Yeah,
book, doing
all of that,
something,
all of that.
studying, to keep your mind growing. And that growth is what we're looking for in everything. You're trying to grow in what you're looking for. Um, it's just like that. I don't like bullying. I don't like bullying. And people that bully, I want to hit you.
It's
Like
interesting.
you're gonna make me hit you. And it's not what you, it's not, it's not that's not the thing that we're trying to do.
Yeah, exactly. We want to try and avoid any type of confrontation. And for me, like I'm very passionate, like about I talk to a couple people about just my girls and the stuff that they've gone through coming up, whether it's bullying at the park, whether it's bullying at school, whether it's cyberbullying. My daughters have dealt with it all, and dad has always stepped in. And like it's all about how you react. And I will admit, my daughter was playing football last year, and there was this guy. They were in the championship game, bro. Like I'm gonna tell this story, and I'm gonna stop talking about it. But they were in the championship game. Um, Me and Davion and sister came out to support. Big sis, and she was in the game, and they were getting ready get ready to start. They were just practicing actually. And my daughter comes running over and sits down, and she's like in tears. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, why are you crying right now? And then her friend comes over, and her friend's like, "Oh, her one of her teammates said something bad about her sister," and like I was like, "What?" and
Yeah,
it was the one time, I have to admit, most of the time anybody knows me, I'm great with talking to people and just kind of dealing with situations, in a very professional manner, and a proper manner. And at that point, I was at the game. I heard about it. I immediately went to the field. And I went into the field while they were practicing and walked up on dude, and I was like, "What did you say about my daughter? Can you say
yeah, yeah.
can you just say that to me real quick?
To me, just please.
Just tell me what you said." You know? And he's like, "What? Somebody's dad's about to get beat up in here." I
Like,
was like,
oh, mm. So you have kids? That's what you're telling me. You have kids, right?
yeah.
You're
I
talking
was
about
like,
the film.
"Wow." And I'm sure it had to do with the fact he was around all his people,
Yep,
and he
exactly.
knew nothing really was going to go down. But me as a father, I should have not went in the field and made a big commotion about it. I should have went and talked to his parents and just say, "Hey, this is what happened. I would appreciate it if you could just talk to your son and not have him disrespecting my kids anymore." Because um, that's the proper way to deal with a situation like that. The way that I handled it, I walked in the middle of their practice. The coaches were there. They were like, "What's going on?" And I walked straight up to his face and I just said, "What did you say about my daughter, man? Just let me know what you said."
Yeah,
And
do
to
rag
me, that
on.
was that was just me stepping out of character. That's what we're trying to avoid,
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
at the end of the day, like, I'm not gonna fight no 13-year-old kid, 12-year-old boy. No, I'm not. But at the same time,
You
like,
gonna
I'm not going to allow him to disrespect someone that's not going to be able to defend himself either. You know what I'm
absolutely.
saying? And so that's kind of where I was at. It almost got
Yeah,
ugly, man. Hey,
man.
leave
Hey,
stuff alone. Leave stuff alone. Leave
I
stuff
thought he
alone.
was gonna come back in there.
Sorry, y'all. He's antsy. He's like ready to go. But anyways, yeah. So yeah, man. Like, definitely, bullying is not cool. Obviously, some of the people that are bullying need help as well. So we can't beat down on the bullies all the time. Sometimes they really need somebody to just speak to them. Maybe they just don't have that father figure or that mother figure that is that cares about them enough to talk to them about these type of situations and treating people fairly. Maybe they're seeing their mom and dad going through some DV situations and not knowing how to comprehend and deal with it. Maybe they're frustrated because they got all these emotions that are built up inside of them that they don't know how to get rid of, that they don't know how to share. They don't have anybody that will listen. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that factor into becoming a bully as well as going through the bullying situation. We just have to find the right ways to deal with them, each
It's
and
it's
every one as they come.
it's crazy and hard because it's like the person that wants to be a singer, but the group they hang around with, they're like, oh, they don't. That's not what the group does, so they don't sign up to be what they really want to be. They start uh, doing other things, or the person that doesn't want to be bullied or is really soft, they start trying to bully people
Yeah.
because they can't do it, and they're threatening people and they're doing this. It's like everybody becomes something other than what they want to do or what they want to be, you know. And that's not what's up. We gotta make it where it's okay to be who you want to be, regardless of what everybody else thinks, because your life is your life, not according to what nobody else thinks. And people have it now to where you gotta try to be what everybody else wants you to be, you know.
Yeah.
People out here being broke because they're trying to compete with everybody else that are broke, and like people's priorities and stuff are jacked up because it's like, man, you got a Hellcat, but you living in the hood over here.
Yeah.
You got a hole in your wall. You looking in the neighbor's door. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
where's the balance in that, man? It's okay.
Right.
Go get you a shit about a Honda. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. They out here
it's,
flossing, living these double lives. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
man.
Claiming to have all this money because they got this $50,000 car, but then they got a 500 a month apartment with, barely any food in it for their kids and all this stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, man. Like,
yeah, man.
I
It's
get it. It's not cool. It's
not at
not,
all.
but at the end of the day, man, we're always going to be a product of our environment, but we can change that though.
Oh yeah.
It's all about what you want to do, who you want to be, and how you want to present yourself when you get out in front of people. And for me, I've never been a bully. I've never been into bullying. I've been in situations before where people try to come at me sideways, and a lot of them don't know I boxed for 5 years. So I mean,
And
I
they
stay
didn't.
ready.
Yeah. They
Ready
weren't
for,
expecting
you know
that.
what
Yeah,
I'm
it's just
saying?
kind of
I
like,
may be a church boy. I may be singing in the choir on Sundays, but
hey, but you know how to
Monday
bring
through
that wrath
Friday.
though.
Hey, but Monday through Friday, we exercising and we hitting that heavy
Come on,
bag.
man. We throwing. We know how to duck and dodge. You know what I'm saying? I
Exactly. You
get
know,
out
we
there with
from them
you.
streets.
They're not taking. People aren't taking respectful ace whoopings, man. They just
Yeah.
getting them up and be like, okay, that was a good one. That was good. All right, I respect it. They're not doing. They're not willing to get
Bro,
out
that's
there and
how
do
it
that.
used to be. I don't know what happened. Like I've been in so many fights with people that I would win and then we would get up and then we would go our separate ways. We wouldn't, come back and with guns. Like after the
Man.
fight was over, it was over. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? You on the ground, we cool now, right?
yeah,
Yeah, okay. So we go our separate
we
ways.
good.
You know what I'm saying? There wasn't no, I'm gonna
Yeah,
go get a gun and shoot you up afterwards.
nah,
I mean, it's crazy, man.
nah, man. Well, I remember we lived on Trafton. That's when it was like when we started getting older. We moved to
Mhm.
12th and Trafton,
Yeah,
and it was like it was like 8th Street, but more. So like we used to have like when mom go to work. Sorry, mom. When she go to work, we used to be in the backyard like with big bro chaos.
yeah,
They have us line up like y'all get out there and box like you
yep,
box. Get out there and box and then shake hands. People be mad and stuff, but it's like you got to know how to use these before you start pulling a trigger. This is gonna get you 25 to life.
yeah,
This may get you a couple years or something, depending on how the person lands or falls. But it's like if you can't use these, man, and earn that's like earning respect. You don't earn
right,
the respect from doing this. You don't earn none of that.
right,
You earn respect from somebody your selly
right.
after you get in there and you doing 25 years. But it was like those cats, the older cats was out there like, man, you guys need to get out here. You need to learn how to, you got to box, do something. You
Yeah,
know,
at the end of the day, my mom's always taught me one thing, and that was always to use my mouth, my gift of gab. You know what I'm saying? If you can't do that, then my dad was like, here's these boxing gloves, go out and box your brothers, beat each other up, get yourself trained because there are gonna be people out there that are gonna come at you sideways. You gotta know how to use these.
yeah,
They don't listen to this, be
yeah,
ready with these. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And so, that's
Even with that, you have that certain. How long we gonna sit here? You can tell if somebody wants to fight.
yeah,
How long we gonna sit here and talk to each other? We having a whole conversation. What's up? No, what's up? What's up? No, what's up? You said that already. What's good? What's up? What's up? You ready to? You trying to get down? What's up? Like, how many times we gonna just sit here and have a conversation? What's
what
your
we trying
name?
to do? Like,
What you trying to do? You trying to go to the like? We're not fighting no more. Like,
right.
either you gonna get out there and seize the opportunity of that space, close that, and handle your business, and be gone, or I'm not having a conversation with you, brother.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
I'm gonna tell you, like, look, man, I'm not here to try to fight with you. I'm here to respect you as a man, but you're gonna respect me in the same way.
yeah,
A lot of people, man, a lot of things happen because people they try to demand respect by demanding it. You gonna respect me? That's not how you demand respect. You
nah,
demand respect by giving respect, and it's earned as well.
yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
telling you, man, quit picking up that firearm, man. That gun is not what you want to. You don't want to just turn to that, man. They have a thing called the force continuum, right? So it's along the lines more so in law enforcement where you have to go force on force. So they can't escalate to a firearm. They're not supposed to escalate to their firearm until they are they feel like they're threatened like that.
Yeah,
You know what I
crime
mean?
threat. Yep. It's
And
protection. It's for protection. It's not
exactly,
just to kill. Just because you want to kill your friend or
yeah,
your ex friend, it's protection. If someone is trying to break into your house and you don't know who this person is, it's for protection.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
absolutely. The
Absolutely.
You see law enforcement officers, like a woman will pull her firearm out on a guy, right? Why she do that? Because physically, if the guy a certain size hits her one time, he could kill her or knock her down. Then her firearm's exposed, right? So she might jump to her firearm, which can be justifiable in a certain extent. What changes the narrative of that is if the officer is white and the assailant is black. You know what I mean? Oh, she pulled a gun out on the black man. I mean, yes, you got to understand both parts. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I'm a person that tries to understand both parts. You know what I'm saying? Even where we come from. But it's just how it is. The force continuum is force on force. If you pull a knife out, you just brought a knife to a gunfight.
Yeah.
They're not going to pull the taser out. It's just what it is.
Yeah.
They could pull the taser out. It's just you're putting that whole thing. You're putting officers in places and where they don't have any understanding of how these people grew up.
Sometimes the taser don't necessarily work on some people.
No, it doesn't, because a person could be on some type of drugs, or they can just be big and they just sitting there eating that thing up because they sit there and tase themselves at night. They tase their leg or something. I don't know. Yeah. They just, but it is what it is. Like these. The force on force thing is really big, and I have to understand that because I do personal protection, bodyguarding, and I'm bodyguarding people out here that you wouldn't even think are millionaires, and you wouldn't think that, oh, you get the bodyguard that person, you got tattoos on your hand. This is not who I am. This is just a part of who I am. Like I was doing tattoos, and I decided to tattoo my hand. Right. But that's the significance of that. But I have to de-escalate a lot of things. It's called verbal judo. A person that can talk themselves out of something or talk a situation down, they have very good verbal judo skills where they can talk themselves out of it. Not being a punk, you're de-escalating the situation to where you don't have to handle it in a certain way, but everything has to be handled accordingly.
Absolutely.
Not always a firearm, man.
Yeah, for sure.
And I do a lot of training on firearms, so a lot of y'all watch my videos and see I do this.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, I'm like, man, look, I told a guy this, I think I did it twice, because the guy was saying, I said, man, what do you do? He was like, what's that supposed to mean? I said, what do you do? He's like, I work over here at the warehouse. I said, oh, okay. I said, that's all you do, bro? He was like, no, I'm out here. I said, okay. Well, I'm a firearms instructor. I teach hand-to-hand combat. You know what I'm saying? I train this and this and that. I'm like, he's like, what that mean? I'm like, so if you want to go there, understand that you lift boxes. I teach boxing.
Mm-hmm.
I will rock you and call the ambulance for you. So, and I'm telling you, I'm dead serious. This was at a QT, a quick trip, which I'm like, I don't understand how we even got into the conversation of that. It was just kind of like, but I had to let him know, like, bro, like, man, what you do, man? And he was like, man, I work at this warehouse. I do. I'm like, okay, you lift boxes. I teach boxing. You know what I'm saying? Not saying, not taking nothing away from you not knowing how to box, but I know how to see a movement before it comes. So
yeah, for sure.
I'm a parry that. I'm gonna do something to where you're gonna end up getting hurt.
Right.
So, I mean, it's knowing and ability is like power under control. You're humble. You're humble with what you know.
Yeah,
you don't. Jiu-jitsu guys who do jiu-jitsu and things like that, people are like, oh yeah, well, you get beat. I'm like, oh, okay. These people are talking to you, and notice the body language. They're closing the distance while they're talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Because they're used to being close. So they're going to do what they know. They're going to close that distance, or they're going to get away. They're not going to let you get that distance. So once you see somebody start closing that distance, you better start thinking. You're thinking about, and what do people do when they get in a fight? They throw wide punches.
Yeah.
They're gonna wrap you up.
They don't last very long.
You're gonna go to sleep right there. They're gonna choke you out.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hey, Mark, man, it's past the hour. My son's back in the room. I think he's
little daddy?
He's ready to get his little play on today. I think we're gonna head outside and let him ride his bike or.
We're going to lock in again. We got to lock in again. Get real in depth with handgun training and things like that. Absolutely. Oh, I wanted to say, as far as the bullying and bullying prevention stuff, you have real good brother John Gaines. I've seen him when he was growing up. It's Elijah Bing's cousin and stuff like that. I think it's his wife's brother. But he's really good. Like he's a really good mentor and speaker. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Peter Chase.
He just had a baby, bro.
Yeah, I seen that. I said,
Shout
okay.
out to John Gaines.
Elijah Ben, really good. Y'all see the barbershops, man. Getting to these barbershops where these guys are really talking, like barbershop talk is real. Like you can really get some stuff off your chest and get some insight on life and things.
Yeah.
And then of course yourself, man. You got the show going on. Congratulations to that, man. You know,
appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate you reaching out. You know, touching bases, catching up, man.
Absolutely. Just trying to stay focused with my people, bro. That's what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? I see a lot of people doing great things. You just mentioned two amazing people that have done so much, not only in my life, but I'm sure they've done a lot in yours as well. So shout out to both Derek and John Gaines.
Derek Ben, John, Elijah. You got I ain't gonna say Marcus Krosky, man. He be throwing too many jokes out there, man. That's my boy, though. That's my boy, Alex Waller. She's really good, you know. Being a female. But man, you know, reach out anytime, my man. You know, I'm here, man.
I appreciate what you do, man, and stay focused, stay positive. Keep doing what you're doing with the gun control and positive influences as far as people with their mental and their physical when it comes to the gyms. I see you, man. I'll probably never get to where you're at, but I appreciate. I like it though.
You got to do 1,000 push-ups with James.
Hey, I was watching a video before I finished making your video, and you was pushing these weights. How much was those you were doing? Those barbells?
The dumbbells. I think that was 140. Dumbbells.
How much?
140.
140 an arm.
Yeah, 140 each arm.
I'm like, bruh.
Yeah. So now all my clothes that I wear are like this, man. They're just like spandex stuff. You try to when you point, you're pointing way over here, and you're doing all this extra stuff. You know what I mean? So.
Hey, man. Hey, but I appreciate it though, man. You've come a long way though, brother, and I'm glad to see you doing well, and keep up all the good work, man. And let us know when we can link up again and make this happen for part 2.
Yeah. There's anything you want to tap into, let me know, man, and I'll be glad to jump on it.
And one other thing, how can anybody get in contact with you if they just want to chop it up with you? Anybody either from the Hill or out there in Texas, if they want to get in contact with you? Because I got fans out there, you know, they may want to come out and see the gun range.
Yeah, I know I got my phone number on my social media. Send me a text first, because I do not answer numbers that don't have a. So send me that, or you can reach out to me on my Facebook. It's either Mark Broussard or Mark. It's hard to find Mark because you got to put a space on there, but it's just what it is. I made it that way. I have a life coaching page. It's Life Inside Out. So it's LYFE .inside out. That's my life coaching page on Instagram. And then I also have Mr. Stacks, MrStaxx. You can follow me on there, man. I got a lot of videos on TikTok with training handguns and stuff like that.
Yeah, so, absolutely. Y'all check out that TikTok. It's heavy. That TikTok is heavy. I like that.
Man.
So what we'll do is, hey, Mark, this is what I want you to do. When we get off, can you just post all the links for people to get in contact with you once we're done? Because I really think that people would definitely like to see the things that you're doing and be a part of the movement when it comes to everything you got going on, man. You're doing amazing things. Keep up the good work, brother. Say what's up to Moms. I haven't seen Moms.
Yeah.
She ain't working at Safeway no more, is she?
Nah, she actually is a floral, like a head of a floral department, but I forget, like she makes all of those funeral sprays and things like that. Yeah. Flowers, flower arrangement, stuff like that, man. She's doing amazing things, man.
Yeah, she's an amazing person, and I appreciate her 110 for raising great people, you know, because all of you guys are doing pretty good, man. All you guys are doing great. And that's all you could ask for, you know, that you lay the seed and they follow, you know. And to be beautiful people, and so keep up the good work, man. Say what's up to the fam, and we'll chop it up again real soon.
Okay, man. I appreciate you, brother.
All right, y'all. On behalf of the circle, It's Circle Talk for the day with my guy Mark. Thank you so much, brother. Shout out to our sponsors, iShota.com, Icon ENT, and the Chaya Movement. Official. We in there. We didn't have a good one today, y'all. Have a wonderful rest of your days. I got to go do my daddy duties with my son. He's going crazy out there. So y'all take care. I'll see y'all soon.
All right, man. Peace.
Later.